All right, here we are at our 1999 SeaRay 215 Express Cruiser for sale. We're coming to you today just off the freshwaters of beautiful Norris Lake, Tennessee. This boat came to us from the Ohio area. This was thought to have been a freshwater boat, but now there are a few signs of some saltwater corrosion on here, namely on our cleats. We've got 4 of those cleats. 2 in the bow, 2 in the stern, and those all do have or are exhibiting some saltwater corrosion. Now, this is on a newer trailer, so the boat's a 99, trailer's a 2017. We do have a 2-inch ball. We got a 5 flat trailer hookup. We got a swing tongue. We do have a spare tire and the spare tire carrier. Now, I also want to call out that spare tire does have some dry rot on there, and it's from 2017, so that you need to get that replaced before you have to use it. Our tires are, we've got one 2021 tire, 2 2024 tires, and a 2023 tire. And so this one, we are powered with a rebuilt motor. We've got about 10 hours on a rebuilt motor that was installed in, I believe, the summer of 2023. Do have an Alpha 1 outdrive. That's a 3-blade prop. We've got recent drive service that does basically have fresh bellows on there. We've got trim tabs. This is going to be an extended swim platform that was added. So this 215 Express is a 21.5-foot LOA. With that additional aftermarket swim platform that was added, you're going to have a 23.5-foot LOA. LOA is going to be your length overall. We've got about a 33-inch draft. That's how deep of water you need under the boat. We got a 5-foot bridge clearance. That's the measurement from the water line to the top of that windshield. Now, obviously, that bimini top goes up a little bit higher than that, but the bimini top can be laid down. And this one comes in about 3,700 pounds dry, meaning that's without any fuel, gear, or water on board. So this one's rated for 8. We've got newer upholstery throughout our cockpit, and we've got this newer cockpit flooring that was also added. That upholstery was done in, let's see, 2023. Cockpit flooring was done in 2022. We've got a little magma gas grill that's going to be removable from that little mount right there on the edge. Again, bimini top overhead. Now this boat came, I believe, with a double bimini top. You see, we've got 2 mounts here for that bimini. We just have the one bimini top. So keep that in mind, that if you are a person that does like more shade, you'll be able to get an aftermarket bimini top to essentially have the double top. Or you can go to a custom upholstery shop. Depending on where you boat, we've, like in Norris Lake area, we do have a few upholstery and canvas options where they basically be able to make you your second bimini and include like that center zipper attachment that's going to allow you to combine those 2 biminis, where it's going to look like one large bimini top. Okay, so again, we're here for our video walkthrough tour. And again, I think I already mentioned this one is rated for 8. So right here, we're going to dive right in here at our driver's helm here. We've got a Fusion. It's going to be an added Fusion, AM, FM, USB, auxiliary input, satellite ready, Bluetooth, Pandora stereo, 12-volt power outlet right here just above it. We've got 4 speakers here in the cockpit. 3 of those pass function testing. We've got 2 more in the cabin that did not pass function testing as well. So, you know, maybe a little bit of rewiring there, and you're going to have two speakers down in the cabin and 4 up here in the cockpit. That's going to be a Humminbird VHF radio. We attempted to function test that. We are getting some static out of there. Squelch appears to be working, but it's, you know, we can't really say that we confirmed that it's operational. Not yet anyway. That's going to be a Raymarine depth finder. That was added in 2022. That's a nice large digital display. Of course, we're only showing 2.7 feet because we're sitting on the trailer here in the parking lot. And then we've got 5 cup holders here in our cockpit. One of those being right here at your driver's seat. Going to have 2 more in either corner back here by your passenger rear seat, and 2 in front of your observer seat over here, just across from your captain's seat. Do have your trim tabs controls. Now again, the trim tabs are completely different from your drive trim. Trim tabs are better known as your boat levelers. When you're underway, you're going to be able to level out your rod left or right without having to move people around. Okay, your drive trim is going to work your bow rods, and it's going to adjust the angle which your outdrive is trimmed. So for a boat like this, when you're going to have a lot of people in your cockpit, whenever you're out moving about the lake, you're going to want to make sure that trim's all the way down when you're accelerating to prevent that bow rise. And then once you get up on plane, you'll be able to raise that drive trim up, get a little bit more of the boat out of the water, and have your nice smoother rod, a little bit more efficient rod as well. So our gauges here in our here at our driver's seat, we do have a fuel gauge right over here. It's going to be a fuel gauge, engine oil pressure. This is going to be your tachometer. We do have the integrated hour meter right here. We got 674 engine hours currently showing on this one. That rebuilt engine was installed at 664.5 engine hours. So we got 10 engine hours on that rebuilt motor. Drive trim gauge right here is going to be your speedometer, your engine temperature, and your battery voltmeter. Ritchie compass just forward of all that. We do have a functional horn. Our bilge pump worked on the automatic switch, but not on the manual switch. We did function test our navigation lights. Those all functioned fine. This boat does have an 8-gallon onboard freshwater tank, and that pump was not engaged, and that one was not operating like it should be. And that engine blower is functional like it should be. So the manual bilge pump does not appear to be working, and the onboard freshwater pump probably needs to be replaced. Typically those pumps they don't last forever. Typically you will have to replace those at some point. So let's go ahead and raise this hatch. We do have a little bit of wear on our flooring right here. We've basically got 2 integrated steps that are going to go over top and through our windshield to get out to the bow. We do have a little anchor locker up there with some anchor chain and road in there. Road's just a fancy way of saying rope, but they both mean the exact same thing. All right, so down here in our cabin, we do have a little V-berth down here. It's going to be convertible. That's going to make a sleeping berth right there. And we will have photos of this made into a bed and like it is now. Okay, and let's see here. We've got a little porta-potti right over here. And that does have its own little, I guess you would call that a little privacy screen. Playing around with our camera here. We're trying to keep our camera cooled off while we're working. We got some hot weather today, so a little reluctant to step down here in the cabin because I don't want our equipment to stop working again. So there's that bow hatch overhead, those 2 cabin speakers to either side, and then moving on around the corner here, this is going to be our little freshwater sink. We do have a little integrated self-draining cooler in here. Now we've got our displays right there and first aid kit, noise making device down here as well, but that's that little integrated cooler. Put these back in. Okay, here's that onboard sink. Again, 8 gallons. Supposed to be feeding that. We got a little storage compartment under here. And as you can probably see, we got a little privacy curtain. It's going to close off that little head compartment area if you are using that. That's going to be our filler cushions for this V-berth right here. We've got a little 750 watt inverter that's been added. Got some cabin lighting that does function. We got another one right in here. It's going to be a little hanging locker right here for hanging clothing up. Another cabin light right here. So all of our cabin lights did function just fine. We've got some storage underneath these V-berth seats as well. And like I said, just in the interest of keeping our equipment running, we're not going to make that into a bed for our video, but I will encourage you to check out the website. We will have some photographs of that V-berth converted to a bed, so you can see that with and without that table. But nice little roomy cabin down there. Again, this is something you can stay the weekend on. Trailable. We're 8.5 foot wide, under 4,000 pounds dry weight, so you can hook to this and head out to the lake over the weekend with it. I'm going to go ahead and hop up here to our bow just before I forget, before we raise our engine hatch. And again, I did call out our anchor locker right here. A little bit of wear on the edge of that anchor locker. Just look down into there. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. A little bit of wear right in there. And then We do have a little bit of a soft spot up here on this bow area, and it's mostly around this the low or the bow side of this bow hatch right here. So we do want to call your attention to that. And that bow hatch was probably the source of maybe some moisture intrusion that kind of got in here. And that's why we've got a little give to this area right now. So again, want to call your attention to that. A little bit of wear on that outer edge of that aluminum hatch. So again, if you're a heavier individual, you might be avoiding that bow area. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this windshield back across. And let that close. Okay, so here's a good look down in our cockpit. We do have a small little in-floor storage hatch right here in the middle of our cockpit here. We got a small little tray in there for storing items. We've got a couple life jackets stored in there. We've got some storage integrated underneath, basically in the bases of your driver and observer seat over here. And then, of course, again, there's that Magma gas grill. Let's see if I can pull this table out of our way right here. Yeah, it's going to cooperate for me right there. Gonna move that forward, and then actually I can show you this little hatch right here. So again, a little storage tray right there. Underneath that storage tray is where that 48-gallon fuel tank you're going to find, and that 8-gallon freshwater tank. Now over here in these side areas, we do have some rod storage down here that I wanted to show you. So right here's a little rod storage cutout right here. You got another one below it. Again, that kind of made reference to that cup holder there. And then that rod storage also, you've got going in up and down. So we've basically got four little rod storage options for you on either side. And then these seats right here are going to be removable. Pop that out. So again, that's that non-working speaker here in our cockpit. Get this guy out. This one did function just fine. So again, most of those speakers all function just fine. And then this can be our engine hatch right here. We're going to raise it up. Again, this is that rebuilt MerCruiser V8. Oops. Out of that channel there a little bit. Let me see if I can get that back in there. I think I put our seating in a bad spot here. Bear with me again. There we are. Nope. Well, it's not wanting to stay in that little groove there, so we'll quit struggling with it here. We do have dual batteries. Battery switch, that's an Edelbrock carburetor that's been added to this one aftermarket. So again, this is small block V8, 305. And again, 10 engine hours on this. Now, when they did do this rebuild, they also replaced, let's see, new manifolds, risers, elbows, and of course that water pump impeller. And also replace the, well, that may have been it. Okay. All right. So again, automatic bilge pump is down in that, just underneath our engine right there. Those are newer batteries. We do have a little bit of wear on the edge of that cutout here for our engine hatch. Trying to call your attention to that right there before we lower this hatch back down. But again, 10 engine hours on this rebuilt motor. There we go. Now I got it settled back into that little groove there. I might be able to move around the edge now, maybe. Okay, maybe not. So here's a look at those manifolds and risers. Do have a battery switch down there in the center. Here's a look at that battery. Actually, we got two battery switches down here. You basically got a main cutoff switch, then your battery selector switch. And again, those are newer AGM batteries right there. Okay. Now I finally got that engine hatch to stay in place. We'll go ahead and lift that back up, let it close. Okay, now beginning our wear and tear portion of the video tour, we're going to start right here, right above their engine hatch right here. Do have a little bit of wear in that gel coat right here. Got a few scratches down here in our cockpit. That newer upholstery, for the most part, is all in very good condition still, with the exception, I think it was this one right here. Had a few little snags and a little bit of a scuff. Not torn all the way through, but we got a good scuff right there on this observer seat. Captain's seat over here still appears to be in good shape. Yeah. We got a little bit of wear up here on our helm area. I'm not sure if there was something else maybe in these two spots that later got removed. It kind of looks like maybe something was mounted up here that was later removed as well. Some kind of heavy oxidation over here on this side. And again, here's a little bit more of that kind of mystery corrosion right there on that Sea-Doo emblem right there. And all right, so I think we saw what we need to see in the cockpit. So again, these little seats that fill in this bench, these are completely optional, but we do have a little cutout for these where this is going to kind of go in a little groove right here. I'm trying to do it one-handed here. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so that's what those look like. I actually like not having this one here because you do have a little bit of a walk-through panel right here. And then we also have a little bit of wear right here we need to show you. All right. Again, here's your ski tow hook. So this one, with this one being basically a 21.5-foot haul, even though our LOA is 23.5. This one is going to handle pretty well. You can pull tubers with this boat, no problem. Skiers, really, it's going to depend on the skill level of your skier. It's really tough to find a boat that will do everything. I'll tell you that. So every boat's kind of built with a specific purpose. So I'm going to start right here in the bow right here with our wear and tear. So we do have a little bit right here that's probably from loading this guy a little bit too high, getting into the trailer a little bit. This little kind of black running down right here, it's like a brown, that is likely kind of probably came out of the anchor locker right there, and just left a little water trail. We do have some wear below the water line right here that we're going to try to show you. Okay, moving our camera a little bit here. We're going to have photos of all this as well. But we're going to try to show you what we can, because I know a lot of times the video is a lot, we can represent the condition a lot better in our video tour than we sometimes can with our photographs. So this is going to be, now these look bad. This is like a gel coat scratch, okay? We're not getting a really heavy groove in here in these spots. May have been repaired. Now you are going to see a little bit more grooves in this area right in here. It's probably from just bunk wear on the trailer. This looks like newer carpeting on here, so I'm guessing that probably that carpeting was redone. Now, here's this, again, these are kind of some small gel coat scratches. This one's a little bit of a deeper groove, but it's still in the gel coat. None of this is actually going through that gel coat finish. Actually getting a little bit deeper right in that spot right there. Kind of looks like somebody has sealed that. If not, then it just has not gone all the way through the gel coat. And now I want to get our camera a little bit lower down here, because we got a few other spots. Again, bear with me here. Do have a few other spots underneath the boat, kind of, again, below that water line. Let me try getting it from here. Here we are. There's a few spots right in here. Again, we're just talking about some gel coat wear. We do have one other exception over here on this side, which we're working our way over to. Let me go ahead and move around. Okay, we're still concentrating below the water line, so you can kind of see we've got some heavier gel coat scratches over here. This is a spot, looks like it's been filled in with something. Where's my finger? There we are. Looks like it's been filled in with some little bit deeper grooves in our gel coat over here. Here's another spot. So this is actually a repair that they've done. This is at a minimum what you want to do anytime you get exposed fiberglass showing. That's probably either some 3M 4200 or 5200 that they've kind of filled in that area with and smoothed it out. That's good. That may be some sealing over that spot there as well. Can't quite tell what that bunk's covering up. And again, some more kind of wear on that gel coat. A little bit heavier scratches in that gel coat here. You can bear with me here. Moving on around. And there's one other spot over here we're going to get closer to, right in here. This is where we do have some fiberglass showing through this gel coat. So we got a pretty good little crack right there. It's going to go back a little bit farther ways. Maybe even a little bit of spider cracking going on as we move away from that initial damage right there. Okay, it's kind of right on top of this bunk. So again, this is a spot right here. This needs at least some sealant at a minimum. And I would follow that line all the way back and try to seal all that up right there. All right, another like a, again, I'm calling that like a just gel coat scratches. There's even one with a little bit of a deeper groove right there, but again, this is the one right here that needs to be sealed at a minimum, or some gel coat work to actually fill that all the way in. Okay, let me crawl back on out from under here. All right, now we're going to look at above the water line. Okay, so we got a lot of wear in our decaling, some scratches, some dock rash here and there in that decaling. Okay, so we don't want to hide any of that. We want to make it known to you before you get in a car and start traveling to see any of our listings in person. If you reach out to us, we'll probably be sending you a link to that video tour just to make sure that you've seen it. Okay, following that vinyl graphic back, you know, we've got some wear on those graphics or on that vinyl striping. Up here above the rub rail, again, I kind of pointed out these cleats a little bit earlier. Up here above the rub rail, we got some kind of weathering in there. Little gel coat scratches here and there. Some wear on that rub rail right in here. Screw hanging out just a little bit right there. A little bit of weathering around that 215 Express Cruiser vinyl logo or graphic there. Again, some more wear in that vinyl over here. And again, there's that other cleat's got some corrosion on there. Okay, a bit right over here in this corner as well. And then coming on around, let's hop over here to the other side. So a little bit of an impact over here. This looks like it was sealed up here on this rub rail. A bit of wear right in there as well. Another one right down here, kind of below that water line. It's some gel coats scratching. And then we've got, if we get real close in here, we've got some like light gel coat scratches down this side as well. Okay, we got similar wear in our vinyl striping, but we've got a little bit, I'm hoping this is going to show up. We do have some grooves right in here. Again, just kind of more of that gel coat scratches. Come on up. Again, this is that vinyl decaling right there. Another one of those little grooves in that gel coat there. This is just where the two vinyl decals overlap right there. Makes a little bump out. Some real minor little scratches, surface scratches on that gel coat, kind of running this direction right here. Again, some more wear on that vinyl. And getting up here near our bow line here. Again, some more weathering on that striping. A little mark down here on the gel coat. There's that other cleat up here near the bow. Now this up here near where we started. That little area right here in that gel coat right in there. And again, just want to show you these stripes and, you know, just let you be able to make an informed decision about this one. All we want to really do here is just represent all of our listings as accurately as possible. And then I think I did stop earlier here before we kind of crawled under. We showed you that little mark right there, kind of behind that fender there. So SeaRay emblem over here. 215 Express Cruiser logo. Again, a little bit of wear in that vinyl decaling there. And that's going to start to do it for this one. So again, 1999 SeaRay 215 Express Cruiser. About 3,700 pounds dry weight, I believe it was. 10 hours on a newly rebuilt V8 engine. 2017 trailer with newer tires. You just need a new spare. Extended swim platform with updated upholstery and cockpit flooring. That's SeaDeck cockpit flooring. So this is going to be a nice option for somebody. So again, this is kind of like an SUV of the boat world. This is something you can stay overnight on. Okay, in that little cuddy cabin. And also not so large that you know, that you're not going to be able to pull anybody skiing or tubing. So again, more information about this one, as always, going to be over our website, yournewboat.com. Down in that video description, there will be a direct link that will take you over there to our website. It actually is going to take you right to the listing page for this one, where you're going to see probably over 100 photographs, exterior, cockpit, cabin, engine compartment, outdrive. Okay, and then there's going to be, at our website, there's going to be another link to this YouTube video. So if you stumbled across this on YouTube first, I do highly recommend look for that link down in that video description to take you right to the listing page for this one, where you can see all the specifications on it, the current asking price, as well as all of our contact information. You'll be able to reach out to us by phone, by text, or by email, whatever's most convenient for you. As always, we do like to remind you, if you call us on the phone, you get a voicemail, and you want to return phone call, all you got to do is take time, leave us a detailed message. We are very frequently in areas without cell phone reception. So if you don't take time, leave us a message. We will not know that you called. And additionally, if you send us an email, if you have not gotten a reply back in 1 business day, check that spam folder, because we're generally very quick about getting email replies back out to people. And again, that's going to do it for this one. So again, it's the 1999 SeaRay 215 Express Cruiser for sale here near the Norris Lake area. And I thank you again for joining us.